Manchester United fans, brace yourselves, the long-awaited end to the Glazers' controversial ownership might finally be here. For Manchester United fans across the globe, the past 2 decades have been a turbulent ride. From the highest highs of Premier League dominance under Sir Alex Ferguson to the post-2013 decline marked by inconsistency, mismanagement, and frustration, one name has been at the center of the discontent: the Glazer family. Their ownership of the club, beginning in 2005, has been shrouded in controversy, debt, and a growing disconnect from the fan base. But now, after nearly 20 years, it seems the end of this bitter chapter could finally be approaching, and for millions of Reds, that prospect feels almost surreal. When Malcolm Glazer purchased a controlling stake in Manchester United in 2005 through a leveraged buyout, the alarm bells rang immediately. This wasn't a case of a wealthy benefactor swooping in with plans to invest and enrich the club. Instead, it was a business move laden with debt, approximately £540 million, that was loaded onto the club itself. United fans, fiercely protective of their club's proud history and financial stability, protested en masse. Many still remember the green and gold movement that sprang up, symbolizing a throwback to the club's original Newton Heath colours, and the formation of FC United of Manchester, a breakaway club established by disenchanted supporters. Yet despite the anger, protests, and boycotts, the Glazers dug in and remained. Ironically, the Glazer era began during one of the club's most successful periods. Sir Alex Ferguson's sheer brilliance as a manager and his ability to extract results from any squad masked the deeper problems developing behind the scenes. Between 2006 and 2013, United won 5 Premier League titles, a Champions League trophy, and multiple domestic cups. On the surface, all seemed fine. But beneath the trophies was a club slowly slipping into decay. Investment in infrastructure stagnated. Old Trafford, once the jewel of English football, began to show signs of wear. The recruitment strategy became inconsistent. Youth development, long a cornerstone of United's identity, faltered. And worst of all, financial profits seemed to take precedence over footballing priorities. After Ferguson's retirement in 2013, the club entered a chaotic spiral. David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and most recently Erik ten Hag all took their turns at trying to rebuild the fallen giant. Each had fleeting moments of promise, but none could restore United to consistent glory. What remained constant, however, was the Glazers' passive, corporate-driven approach to management. Ed Woodward, a banker with no footballing background, became the face of a transfer policy that oscillated between overpriced flops and panicked last-minute signings. For fans, each missed opportunity in the transfer market, each embarrassing defeat, each failed project pointed back to the ownership. Despite periodic calls for sale, the Glazers refused to budge. The club's commercial success, driven by its global fan base and lucrative sponsorships, kept their pockets full. The Super League fiasco in 2021 was perhaps the most tone-deaf moment of all, as United's owners aligned with other European elites in a bid to wall off competition and secure permanent revenue streams. The fan backlash was so fierce that the project collapsed within 48 hours. In late 2022, a seismic shift occurred. The Glazers announced a strategic review of the club's future, which included the possibility of a sale. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, fans felt a glimmer of hope that their voices were finally being heard. The movement gathered momentum, chants rang out at Old Trafford, protest marches intensified, and the online campaign Glazers Out gained global traction. 2 major bidders emerged: Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani of Qatar, and British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe, a lifelong United fan and CEO of Ineos. The bidding war dragged on for over a year, full of drama, leaks, speculation, and frustration. But now, it appears that change is imminent. Whether it comes through a complete buyout or a phased transition of power, the Glazers' iron grip is loosening. For Manchester United fans, the post-Glazer era cannot come soon enough. But with anticipation comes a need for cautious optimism. Change, while welcome, does not automatically mean success. The club faces numerous challenges: an aging stadium, a fractured squad, a confusing footballing hierarchy, and financial fair play constraints. If a new ownership model is to succeed, it must prioritize football over finance, heritage over hype. Rebuilding the culture of excellence, investing smartly in talent, modernizing facilities, and reconnecting with the fan base should be at the core of any new era. United fans don't just want trophies, they want a club that reflects their passion, values, and history. To the millions of fans who have endured heartbreak, mediocrity, and disillusionment, the news of the Glazers' potential departure feels like a long-awaited dawn. There's still work to be done, and the road ahead won't be easy. But for the first time in a generation, Manchester United might finally be on the verge of reclaiming its soul. So, Manchester United fans, brace yourselves. The end of the Glazers' reign is within sight. And with it comes the chance to dream again, to believe again, and maybe, just maybe, to see the Red Devils rise again.